Update. Am I the a-hole for being uncomfortable with my husband's new friend? Original post. A few months ago, my husband Stephen became friends with this girl Anna. He hangs out with her a decent amount, once a week to every other week, which is reasonable given our work schedules. I, 26 female, have never met her, nor have I been invited to. It's been mentioned that she wants to meet me. However, plans are never made, and I'm not included when he goes. He says he's also hanging out with her boyfriend, but again, I've never met these people. He's been doing a lot for her and gave her our space heater, which I have no problem with. Being helpful or kind is fine, but quite literally every time she has an issue, she calls him to solve it, and he jumps. I asked about donating the Nintendo Switch that we literally never use, it's been sitting in a drawer for years, to my brother Isaac, and he said no because he told Anna she could maybe borrow it sometime, and he can't go back on his word. But he promised an incredibly close friend of mine that she could for sure have our old Xbox as a Christmas gift, and he's fine going back on that, suggesting we donate that instead. Also, every single time we've gotten into a fight since he met her, he's stormed out of the house and gone to her place. He does not return for hours and does not contact me at all while he's gone. I only know where he is because we have iPhones and I can see his location. After making a huge deal about spending Christmas with me, he spent less than 2 hours with me and then went to a party with her that I wasn't invited to and was gone all afternoon and night. I spoke to him about all of these points and said I was uncomfortable, and he swore nothing was going on, but apparently turned right around and told her everything we talked about. Because she's my friend, of course I told her. And A, that makes him seem even more suspicious, like they're getting their stories straight. And B, now it's going to be weird between me and her if we ever meet. Not that I even want a relationship with a woman who runs to my husband every time she has a problem. He has other female friends whom I adore, and he does none of these things with them. So this isn't about me hating other women or anything like that. And I found out the other day that she's single. Apparently, she dumped her boyfriend. Guess who she called first? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Whether he sleeps with her or not, he's not loyal to you, he's not respecting you, and he's at the very least having an emotional affair. Open your eyes, because it can't be more obvious, and you're just ignoring the blatantly obvious. Definitely sounds like an emotional affair at the very least. If OP is okay with all but this one female friend, there's a reason. Gut feelings usually don't lie. If we say you're the a-hole, will you magically be okay with everything? Read your post again, and if you can't spot a red flag, then you're hopeless. I knew what was happening was wrong, but he had spent so long gaslighting me and making me feel crazy and like everything was my fault that I just really needed an outside perspective. He really isolated me from my family and friends, and I didn't have anybody that was on my side at this time. Oh my lord, this is a disaster. He's definitely gaslighting you. Everything you've mentioned is reasonable, and yet instead of discussing it with you and having real conversations about something that his own wife is concerned about, he brushes it off, deflects, or ignores. You can't reason with him because he doesn't want to reason. He wants to have his own way and doesn't want you to ever know that in his heart, he loves this woman more than he loves you. Marriage counseling. There won't be any marriage counseling. I begged for a really long time to do it, and he always had a reason why not to, and only ever says that he'll do it when I am actively telling him I'm done and want to leave. But then has never actually followed through on that. But if you check my post history, you'll see the update to this post, so we are just gonna straight up get divorced at this point. I'm done with the mental, emotional, and verbal abuse. Now for the update. Okay, so the other day, Steven was supposed to see his grandma and then hang out with Chuck, 28 male, and Marvin, 30s male. That was the plan. He was very specific about what he was doing and with whom. He said he was going to go to Chuck's house, and then he, Chuck, and Marvin were going to Delta Pizza to play pool. Steven texted me multiple times confirming that this was still the case. This is just one example. Steven also repeatedly said he wanted to watch a movie with me and would be back early. So when he still wasn't home at 7 p.m., I checked his location just to see if he was on his way back. I literally didn't suspect anything. I just wanted to see if he was on his way and didn't want to call and bug him in case he was still with his friends. When I checked his location, it showed that he was at Anna's place. So I texted him and asked, "Are you with Anna?" And he said no. He insisted that he wasn't with her and hadn't seen her. And I'm like, well, your location shows that you're at her place. He then said he was just going to pop in and say hi. I mapped it. Anna's place is over 20 miles away from where he said he was hanging out. Who's going to drive over 20 miles just to pop in and say hi? I kept saying it was weird. Like, I wouldn't have cared if he had just texted me and said, "Hey, I might pop in and say hi to Anna before I come home." But instead, he waited for me to find out he was there before saying anything. He kept insisting that he never saw her and didn't talk to her because I texted him before he could even get out of the car. I said, "Well, you still could have texted." And he said I didn't give him a chance because I messaged him before he got out of the car. I'm like, it was a 20-mile drive. You had plenty of time to tell me you were going over there. Then he got whiny with me and said, I was with Chuck and Marvin literally all day doing exactly what I said we were doing, and I never saw Anna. If you don't believe me, you can ask Marvin or Chuck. And I'm not going to ask them. I'm not that girl. I've never been that girl. I'm not going to call his friends and check up on what he was doing. But I went to dinner with Kara the other night. Marvin is her brother, and she's really good friends with Chuck. I found out that Anna was with them literally all day. Steven picked her up first thing in the morning, brought her over to Chuck's house, hung out with her there, then brought her to Delta Pizza. She was there the whole time that he, Chuck, and Marvin were playing pool. So at 7 p.m., when I checked his location and it said he was at Anna's place, it was because he was taking her home. And he specifically asked Chuck and Marvin to lie to me and say that Anna wasn't there if I asked. So at this point, I don't believe that he's not cheating. But even if he isn't, I don't care anymore because he lied to me again. All he ever does is lie to me, then swear he'll never do it again. And then he does. And I can't spend the rest of my life like that. That is absolutely the last time he will look me in the eye and lie directly to my face. So I'm done. I am filing for divorce. He doesn't know that I know, and I am going to play dumb and keep it that way until I can get my ducks in a row. Any advice would be appreciated. Edit to add, because so many people keep saying it. Rightfully so, I just can't reply to every single comment. I had an STI and pregnancy test. I'm 2 months late, done the morning after I found out. Pregnancy test was negative. Waiting for STI results. The doctor isn't open over the weekend, so I can't expect anything until next week. He's cheating. He's lying to you and having his friends lie to cover his butt. You are worth more than this. Kick him out. Even if he wasn't cheating, he's for sure a liar and a sneak. She doesn't need to prove that he cheats to kick him to the curb. She knows she can't trust him, and that's all she needs to know that they are through. He's probably cheating. He's certainly lying. I would be unable to respect him, and that's it. You can't have a relationship without trust or respect. Get all of the evidence. Texts, deleted texts, DMs, phone records, location info, all of it. The day you have him served, blast them both all over social media and tag his mom. Burn that bridge to ash. As much as I would love to do this, he constantly deletes his text messages. And then he deletes them from the trash, so they're not recoverable. I thought about reaching out to the cell phone carrier, but he has an iPhone and the messages that he was deleting were on iMessage. I do believe that there's probably some stuff on Facebook Messenger, but I don't know how to get into his Facebook account. We don't know if he's having an affair. He's, as you said, deleting all messages, getting his friends to cover for him, and besides confronting Anna, which she would probably lie about anyway, there's not a lot you can do. The biggest thing here is that he's lied to you on multiple occasions. He's being secretive, and he's getting his friends to cover for him. Whether he's having an affair or not, and all signs point to the fact that he is. He's lying to his wife, someone he made vows to, which is a huge red flag and a deal breaker. It's a downhill slide from here. Get your things in order, especially your finances, and file for divorce without telling a soul. Then serve him papers. Let him do what he wants and keep a record of everything moving forward. Also, update us when you serve him. He knows I know now. What? What happened? He texted me to come clean. All he came clean about was hanging out with her, not cheating with her. but he never would have just come to me on his own because he doesn't have an honest bone in his body. I'm guessing someone told him that I know. So I didn't deny it. I said, yeah, I know, and I want a divorce. Next story. Update. Am I the a-hole for not eating the birthday cake my boyfriend got me? Original post. Alright, so my birthday was a couple of days ago, and I asked my boyfriend about a week before to get me a carrot cake. While I know it's not a popular choice for a birthday cake, it's my favorite, and practically the only flavor of cake I like, besides red velvet, but I wasn't feeling it at the time. Keeping in mind that I was going to have a birthday party with my friends, my boyfriend suggested that I get a flavor that people like, which I'd understand maybe if it were a huge party with tons of people, but I know my friends, and I know they wouldn't mind carrot cake at all. I told him that my friends would be fine with carrot cake and to get it anyway. Anyway, fast forward to my birthday. My boyfriend goes and gets the cake from the shop in the afternoon, and I don't get to see it since I'm getting ready. He doesn't mention anything to me about it, so I think nothing of it since I like a surprise. My friends arrive and everything's going great until it's time for the cake to be served. We gather around the table, and everyone sings happy birthday while my boyfriend brings out the cake. And to my horror, I see this big chocolate cake in his hands. I hate chocolate cake. It makes me sick. He knows I hate chocolate cake. My face fell when I saw it, but I obviously didn't say anything at the time. However, I did give my boyfriend a glare or two, which he clearly picked up on since he kept insisting I eat the cake in front of everyone as we were serving it out. Something about that made me angry in the moment, and I refused to try the cake at all. I cut it, blew out the candles, handed it out to everyone, but I didn't try it myself. I don't think the others took huge notice, but once the party ended, I started getting unready when my boyfriend came into our room and was like, "Why do you have to act like a child all the time?" And I'm like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "You had to make a scene just because I didn't get your freaking carrot cake." And he went on about how nobody likes carrot cake, and how I'm spoiled and selfish and looked stupid not eating cake at my own birthday. Then he claimed he couldn't find carrot cake, which is crazy because 1, I've never gone to that shop and not seen carrot cake, and 2, even if there wasn't any, he could have picked any other flavor besides the only one I hate. I told him that, and he just got really upset, like I was the one who started the fight. He started going on about how I was overreacting over cake and how he tried his best to make this birthday good for me, which in fairness is true since he put a lot of effort into organizing it for me. But honestly, I was just livid then. Now we're still kind of off about it, and neither of us has apologized or anything, but I'm starting to think I did overreact over cake and I probably should have just eaten it and then talked to him later, but I don't know. Now for the top comments before reading the update. I'm feeling kinda spicy, so I'll just let it out. Why are you living with a man who doesn't give a damn about your request? Celebrate your birthday by kicking him to the curb. I get the feeling that the everyone who doesn't like carrot cake is him. I've been to birthdays that served carrot cake. I have too. Boyfriend doesn't like carrot cake, but couldn't deal on this one day? He had to ruin OP's birthday because his preferences matter more? This man should not be in a relationship. You're the a-hole. Not for any of what you did, and what he did was straight up disrespectful, but for saying you like red velvet and hate chocolate. Red velvet is chocolate. Traditionally, it's Dutch processed cocoa and vinegar or buttermilk, but 99% of modern red velvet is literally chocolate cake with food coloring added. I like chocolate, but the gooiness and over-sweetness of chocolate cake makes me nauseous. Red velvet is way more soft and fluffy, and I love the cream cheese icing. Same with carrot cake. Meanwhile, chocolate icing is just sickening in my opinion. There's a specific type of nice guy that pulls this kind of nonsense to get a reaction. He's telling you he doesn't care about your preferences and angled it to see if you would say something in front of others or not. Now he knows you'll keep his bad behavior private. Get out of there. Not the a-hole. Yes, this guy didn't even put effort in, and he's peacocking, expecting her to thank him. He was digging for an argument. Also the kind of person who will do you a favor and then throw it in your face every chance they get like you're supposed to keep thanking them into perpetuity. It isn't overreacting. A cake flavor may seem small in the grand scheme, but it's a message your significant other is sending, that your preferences and desires do not matter to them, not even on a day that is designed to be for you, your birthday party. Furthermore, him doubling down on his choice by calling you a child and then projecting onto you that you're selfish because you prefer a different type of cake and didn't want to eat a type of cake you do not like, projection, because he is actually the one being selfish but deflecting that onto you, further shows that you, who you are, don't matter to him and he will prioritize himself or others over you at every turn. And he will continue, in even bigger ways, to treat you like crap. He also literally could have gotten a carrot cake for you and some other cake. Instead, he only got the other cake. Even if his excuse about the store not having it is true, he could have gone to several other stores or actually ordered ahead of time to ensure you got your carrot cake. The fact that he did none of this and pretty much purposely didn't get you a carrot cake is him literally sending the message that you don't matter to him, at least not beyond however he uses you to validate himself. This is not a good partner. I mean, on the most basic level, everyone knows that a birthday party is for that person, and you get a dessert that person likes. Like seriously, again, everyone knows that. Now for the update 3 months later. Hey, so I know it's been ages, but I just saw a TikTok with this post in it, so I thought I'd share. I did break up with my boyfriend about a week after this happened. It wasn't all to do with the cake situation. Some things happened afterwards which, along with this of course, resulted in me calling it quits. I wonder if he's seen this limao. We fought for a bit over it, and he called me some not-so-lovely names, but I got over it pretty quickly, and all is well now. Me and my friend went out and got red velvet cake afterwards. And before you guys say it, it's not the same as chocolate. Thanks a lot guys for the support and for knocking some sense into me, and sorry for not giving you all an update. I didn't really want to think about it after we broke up. But yeah, moral of the story, eat cake and don't be fake. Love yous.